With us now to discuss all the action surrounding the big day, we're joined by Francisco Pinto. He's a sports analyst for the Los Angeles Chargers. Great to have you on the show today. Thanks for joining us. As we just heard there, it's a massive game. I mean, I was brought up in Australia on the other side of the world. I know what Super Bowl is, and I don't have a sporty bone in my body. What is it about Super Bowl? Why is it so huge, culturally, socially? Just give us a bit of a comment on that.
Hi, Sally. I'm about, let's say, a 45 minutes short flight from Las Vegas, where I live here in Los Angeles. And I can tell you, coming from Chile, because that's where I was born, where soccer obviously is king. In Australia, I imagine rugby is the biggest sport. But I can tell you without hesitation that there is nothing like American football and the NFL for the people that lives in this country. Nothing comes even close. This is an event of monumental proportions for everybody involved, and there is no other sport that brings together the country the way this event does. I mean, you can name the NBA Finals, the Major League Baseball, MLS Cup, Stanley Cup. Nothing comes even close to bring as many people together as this game will do today. And I think it's like the gentleman said in the piece before, I came in, I think it's in the DNA of this country. It's part of the fabric.
But I think it's also a very clever cross-cultural marketing campaign that's going on here, surely. I mean,
yep.
You know, there's a lot of people in our newsroom, for example, that don't watch football, but they're celebrating today as well. And do you think it's because there's so many ads, and it's about these incredible ads that go on, you know, the revenue that goes into the event? Talk about the way that it's set up as a marketing tool, and it's really kind of playing on all those cultural, patriotic kind of elements of the country.
You're right. I mean, it's a combination of things. I can tell you, for my own experience, before joining the LA Chargers and the NFL, I worked 9 years for the LA Lakers in the NBA, which by all accounts and measurements is the most popular basketball team in the world. And the NBA is a well-oiled machine. They do very, very well. But once I joined the Chargers and I started to see the way the NFL works from within, there is a reason why the NFL is called the 800-pound gorilla in the USA, because nothing comes even close in terms of generating interest, the economy, the stadium, 70,000 to 100,000 people fill every single day. There is if you look, and this is public information, if you look at the 30 most watched broadcasts in the history of this country, 22 are Super Bowls. Number one is the moon landing, the Apollo 11 in 1969. And today, there are people that think that because of Taylor Swift, that number could be challenged for first time in history.
And also perhaps bringing more female viewers. And talk just briefly for us about the betting aspect of the game. You know, we hear a lot about betting in general, but even things like how long the national anthem will go. How has this turned into such an economic powerhouse right down to these tiny little details?
And imagine happening in Las Vegas, which is obviously, for obvious reasons, perhaps the most ideal site to hold a Super Bowl because of that aspect. And like, you know, the piece before me said, you can bet in absolutely everything. There is a bet that is, I think it is the up and under at what time Taylor Swift is going to get to the stadium, because I believe she's still on the air, coming from Tokyo, Japan, or maybe she already landed.
She landed last night in LA.
She landed last night.
I was watching.
So there is. Thank you, Sally, for that information. But you know, there is an up and under. Like, is she gonna get there before 3:15 or after 3:15? So the amount of money for everything that they use this to bet is
amazing, isn't it? Thank you so much, Francisco Pinto, there for us from Los Angeles Chargers.